Hey, what does Manny Pacquiao do when he sees a punching bag?
What?
He punts it. Hey, what it do, y'all? Welcome to episode 8 of Short Kings Talk. We are your hosts with the most. This is Sid and Kelvin. What it do?
You doing?
Once again, this is a growing platform, so please, we appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, as well as, tell your friends and family about us. Tell your kinfolk, tell your side piece, tell your
haters.
Exactly. If you're at the drive-thru just ordering whatever, just be like, hey, by the way, you should check out this podcast real quick. You feel me? And yeah, all links to our socials are in the description below. That's at Short Kings Talk. Everything. How you feeling today?
More energized than last time.
Are you really?
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry, low-key.
Yeah, that's all good.
Episode 8 is on self-employment. Ooh. So if y'all didn't know, Kelvin and I are both self-employed. We both have our own independent businesses. I'm a personal trainer and Kelvin is a DPT. That's Doctor of Physical Therapy, So in this episode, we are going to talk about the insights on our independent businesses, how it started, growing our businesses, and tips that can be valuable for you. So this is going to be a very educational episode for everyone. So tune in on that. But let's go and talk about kind of our origin stories with when we started going independent with our business. So
I'll let you go first.
Should I go first? Yeah. Because chronologically, I went independent first. But I mean, for you started like kind of post-pandemic. So I think a lot of people can value that. But for me, just real quick, I went independent 2016. When did you go independent?
2021.
Yeah. So for me, I worked at a 24-hour fitness for only 1 year. And personally for me, I just thought my whole experience as a trainer kind of sucked. Yeah, because I never had a mentor. And you worked for 24 as well, right? Yeah, so when you work for these corporate gyms, they usually like to give you some clients just to get you going. I never had that.
That's so crazy to me. They never gave you anyone.
Never gave me a client. Yeah, from the get-go. It's just more of just like I had to build, and then I didn't really have that guidance from my fitness manager either. And then we ended up butting heads towards the end.
So what happened? Like you started and they're like, oh, just go on the floor and like.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I even got this from my club managers. Like, because when I started, I was 22. And she said, like, oh, you have to make sure you're a very valuable trainer because you kind of look very young. And this is before, like, my big, like, diet surplus. So I guess I didn't have as much, like, muscle mass as I do now. So I'm just like, oh, okay. But then the thing is that when you start off as a trainer, especially in a corporate gym, they have to teach you, like, how to conduct yourself as a trainer. It's not just... there's so many nuances to like treating like several clients. There's not like a little, I guess, baseline to it, right? So after a year, that's when I decided to go independent, and it actually took me a month to decide to go independent. I was super scared, but the reason why I went independent is because a lot of trainers from my 24-hour fitness started going independent. They're like, oh, you should go independent. Like, you get all the money. That's like their selling point. Like, you get all the money instead of a commission. And I go, okay. Because my original plan was just to make it up to being a master trainer and then just work full-time at 24-hour fitness. I'm like, oh, this is cool, And then I just got convinced after a month. I just went full independent. And to be honest, like, that was tough because I didn't have a decent group of clientele to bring with me. I only had 2.
Damn.
Yeah. So from the get-go, I just had to kind of build clientele from there. I used Instagram a lot. I still kind of do, but I'm very lazy. I'll admit that. But I got a decent clientele now.
You think just the contemplating the jump was harder than actually starting it? Like just being so like in your head about like, damn, I'm gonna.
I think I was scared. Yeah. I was scared that like, oh, like if I really had to be accountable of everything, like my own income and all that, like I didn't have that safety net of working at a commercial gym. So that's what really held me back. But once I made that jump, honestly, like it was tough, but I enjoy it. I think the one thing I like is like being in control of your own time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think just building my personal training business from the jump was super difficult, you know. Yeah, because I never ran ads and stuff, so I had to find different ways. And this was a big thing that I want to talk about with you is the importance of having a mentor, because I never had that. I tried asking this one quote unquote established trainer if he could help me like build clientele and how he can reach out through a smaller radius within the city that I train clients at. And that didn't work out. That's the guy I basically hate.
Oh man.
Is that guy? Yeah.
Got it.
So, I mean, there was that. But for you, being a DPT, I guess, did you work somewhere else at another clinic before going independent?
Yeah. So I graduated not that long ago. So I graduated in 2020.
So you graduated during pandemic?
Right during pandemic. So
was your ceremony over Zoom?
We didn't have one.
Oh, so you just got emailed your diploma and then?
Yeah, that's it. So
okay.
We had no. Anyways, so I started working in August when things calmed down in LA.
2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Okay.
Because you know how shutdown was like.
Yep.
So I started working there, and then I worked for like 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, I don't want to work here anymore because I had a really strong referral source already. Just from just doing a good job, right?
Yeah.
So I had people coming in just under me, and I'm like, why am I getting paid like 10% of what I'm generating?
Exactly.
If these people are coming to see me specifically, right? So then I made the jump, and then back then I didn't do training at first because right now I'm kind of a hybrid. I do some training, PT and training half, right?
So let me ask this: like, is that normal as a physical therapist to do both training and I guess like the manual rehab?
No,
it's not. Okay.
Most people just stick to one.
Okay.
Because we'll go into that later about like relationship building in business, but anyways, but when I first started, it was house calls because I didn't have this place, like I didn't know anyone, right? And I just moved back to LA because I was in San Diego for most of my adult life. Moved back to LA, pandemic hit, right? So so it was tough. New city. Everything was new. It's kind of like you, right? You came to Pasadena and then you had like a new fresh start from Stockton.
Okay.
But so I had that, and then so in the beginning it was just like you. It was tough. I didn't have any clients following me. Right. So then I signed on. I think 2 of my old clients reached out to me like a month later, asking if I'm still doing. Once you
got the office at this gym, or
no, once I left. They were like asking for me. Because the shitty thing about my old work was they lied to people and said I was just on vacation. So people kept coming and they're like, "Where is he?" And he's like, "Oh, we don't know." Or sometimes, "Oh, he's out to lunch." Oh, it's shady.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
If my old coworkers are like, they could validate this. Like they told people I didn't quit.
Whoa.
It was insane. Yeah. Anyway, so people like they got my number and they're like, "Yo, where you at?" And I was like, "Oh, I quit. I'm doing house calls now. If you're down." And that's when I started doing a little bit house calls, like, and then. There was another platform that was booming at the time. It's kind of like Uber for therapists.
Really?
Yeah. So it's called Luna.
I thought it was gonna be like trainer rides or something.
No. It was called Luna. So it was like Uber. So they hire all these independent contractors. They feed you a caseload and they take like a 40% cut from your payments.
Wow.
So I got like 5 or 6 that way, and then I got really sick of driving to people's houses.
Right.
It sucks. So then.
What was your radius? Did you do just all of Greater LA?
Yeah, so Santa Monica. I drove to Santa Monica once. I was like, I'm never doing that again. Some in like Beverly Glen, Burbank, North Hollywood,
everywhere.
Alhambra. Like, dude, it was far, dude.
Okay.
So then I did that for 5 or 6 months. Built like a decent client size of like a dozen about, and then I moved them here.
Okay, so that's what you did before. So Kelvin has an office. He has 2 offices, which one we filmed this podcast on. He has an office in this facility that we both train and operate our businesses in. So you didn't just jump from working at a clinic to being independent. You did these house calls first and then build like clientele, and then you just brought them all into one space.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I didn't do that at all. Like I just had to from the jump. So how was that? How was that moving from like the house calls to having your own office space in terms of growing your own business? I mean, obviously besides not driving anywhere or everywhere.
I mean, just having a home base is nice,
Mm-hmm.
where when people refer to you, they have a location
Okay.
rather than here's this guy's phone number, call him, right? It's like a lot more professional,
right?
And it gives you like that status almost like
Okay.
this is as legit, it's not just some random dude, right? The other thing is just having people come in. I think they're a lot more committed.
Right.
Versus going to people's house. People cancel all the freaking time for like the dumbest reason. You did house calls, right, during COVID?
I did do it for a little bit. And then once the gym started like allowing us to train clients again, then it was a little bit of hybrid because some were still uncomfortable with coming in.
Right.
Were you the same?
Yeah. They came in and they were like petrified.
Yeah.
Like triple hand sanitizer after everything.
Double mask.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, it's fine.
Okay. I had a question for you, like following up, but I totally like just.
Was it about the mentors?
No, I guess so. I mean, yeah, because for me, like my whole journey as a personal trainer, I didn't have a mentor, and I feel like for any type of business that you should fall into, like a mentor is very important. So for you, like, do you think having a mentor is important?
I think so.
Yeah. Did you have one?
So let's talk about all the mentors. So there's 3 that are noteworthy, right? So first one, I got sold via an Instagram ad on like how to start your own like physical therapy business, right?
Okay.
And then that course was like about $6,500. And then it was it didn't have anything useful. It was more of like a mindset thing.
Yeah.
They paired you up with a coach and for like 12 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's more like an accountability coach. Kind of like how we do like online training with people, right? So like in the grand scheme of building systems, it was completely worthless.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask that. Was it just some like weird entrepreneur like
mindset, like all about like
I hate those so much.
For real, dude. Like especially if you don't have any directions, because I wasn't taught business in school, like most people, right?
Yeah.
So like I would have appreciated more of a systemic approach rather than some like ethereal mindset shift stuff, right?
Yeah.
The second mentor was recent. I won't even call him a mentor. That was kind of forced upon me. So we have this tech guy that was kind of working with us to build a website.
Oh.
Okay.
He was supposed to be a mentor?
He wasn't. So when I hired this, so pretty much the story is I hired this contractor with my business partner.
Yeah.
Right. And then he was supposed to help us do our website. And then somehow he kind of assumed the role of like a CTO, a consultant. So we would have this idea, like we would have these ideas like, hey, I want our site to look like this. And he would like bounce it back. He'd be like, no, like this wording is wrong. This is too specific. And so it created a lot of friction in the business,
right?
Especially between me and my business partner. Because I was like, no, we're not doing that. And then he was like looking for direction pretty much. Like, so it was like 3 guys butting heads and nothing was getting done.
Yeah.
So that mentorship was worthless in my opinion. It's just like so that. But the most important one I had, I think, was from Instagram.
Okay.
So like the guy that actually, I'm sure a lot of the viewers who watch this know about him, like Alex Hormozy. He's huge.
I've seen some of the stuff too.
So like he actually like I think his platform is like providing business education to the masses for free on IG, right?
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I've only seen a few of Alex Hormozy's clips. Is when he actually gives you like he tries to spits game about entrepreneurship, is it actually like valuable? Like, is it actually something that you can obtain like good information just from the Instagram clips alone? Like, you didn't have to invest in anything.
The Instagram clips have they're clips, right? They're
right.
But the system that he built is in his book, which cost $1.
Really?
So it's called $100 million offer, and that it teaches you how to build like an offer that's to your clients and stuff. And then he had a book prior to that called Gym Launch Secrets. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much how I built this entire enterprise. And it's like dumbed down step by step drawings and all that.
Yeah.
So that was actually the most helpful thing, and it cost me like $20.
Right.
Versus like a $6K business mentorship and all that stuff.
Which is awesome to hear, because you see a lot of these like entrepreneurs. Like, I don't like entrepreneurs at all. Well, I don't like how they speak, but at least like I'll say this, like Alex is very kind of personable. He has his own persona, because a lot of times, like, I'm just gonna name drop like like Gary Vee or Grant Cardone.
They're like guru, right? Guru speak.
Yeah. Like, I don't like that at all.
You ever get those ads like, are you a single 30 to 35-year-old trainer?
Or the Ty Lopez.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you want to know how I got this like $1 million house
this
and this Lambo. Yeah, dude. I was like, oh man. But then they actually don't try to sell you like on something that you can value off of. It's just more of this weird scheme of like you got to build your mindset
because their money is the courses.
Exactly.
I think that's the difference. Whereas like I think for Alex Hormozy, his courses are free on his website.
Yeah.
So like the way he makes money is like you have to get to a certain point in your business, and then they partner up and they obtain like a minority stake in your company.
Oh, so really?
They're like an acquisition company.
Oh, so that's what he does.
Yeah. So I think that's what sets him apart. Like I know a lot of people hate him because they're like, oh, he's like he's like a guru type person. But like I think I got value from what he got. Yeah. Like what, $20?
Yeah. If you value from it, it's all good. I mean, a lot of people hate us for some reason.
Yeah. Same with like, Instagram fitness tips is not for everyone. But like if you got some info that was valuable to you, just fuck with it. I don't care. So
let's actually go back to pandemic since you started your independent business at 2021. So let's actually talk about the pandemic's impact on both of our businesses. Because for me, when pandemic hit, I was freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I freaked out so hard. It was like the first time in years that I legitimately didn't have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, well, and this is before they started implementing fun employment. That's what I do.
How much you get a week?
A week? I don't know. Like, but
$3K?
For a month, no. For a month, I got like $4,000 to $4,500.
Damn, and that's just nothing. Is that just the state or everything? Because I know California added a little bit on top.
Yeah, that was California.
Oh, yeah. So federal, you got more?
No, I never did the federal one. I just did. I think it was under. I forgot what.
Because a lot of people did the
PPP. UI online. That one.
So a lot of people did the PPP loans.
I didn't do that,
bro, and they like bought Ferraris and shit with it.
One of my clients was telling me like, dude, you should just get these loans because you don't have to pay back. I was scared because it was a large amount.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm one person.
Yeah. There was a story of that dude who made like 10 fake companies. And then he used all that money and he bought Tesla stock with it, right? And obviously at that time Tesla was like $200-300, and you know how it went up to like almost $1,000.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So then he profited off that, sold all that stuff, and then the government came for him.
Yeah, okay.
And then so he went to I think he went to like white collar prison for 6 months, and they took away some of the money. But for 6 months in prison, he came out with like 12 mil. So he's set for life for that fraud. So I was like, I don't know.
It's kind of worth it.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of tempting.
6 months.
I know a lot of people that had their businesses open because they weren't really impacted. They're like e-commerce stores and stuff like that, right? They still apply for, and some of them are my friends, they still apply for PPP loans, like $300-400 completely forgiven.
Oh my God.
They just bought like an extra house with it. And I'm like, bro, I know, but like I couldn't get myself to do it.
Me either.
Because I was like, I'm like a sole proprietor, right? I'm my only employee. I don't have a lot of expenses. So
exactly.
I'm just like,
and I'm just scared of any unknown repercussions from it. So that was my biggest thing. But I will say this, like I was freaking out because I was out of the job. But at least for me, I want to say this. I think the pandemic was a little like kind of a blessing in terms of my own business. It was a full business reset because I think once things start opening up, especially gyms, a lot of people wanted some social interaction, and then I think a lot of the trainers before pandemic kind of like diminished their business. They were trying to find different alternatives because like, this isn't it.
The pandemic wiped out like I'm pulling this number about math. I think from what I'm seeing, at least like half of the industry was gone after that. They went to do other stuff. Because they just, I mean, they were not great before. And I think the pandemic really exposed them.
Yeah.
For having a really crappy business.
And I'll admit too, like I wasn't as great before pandemic. Like I was cool. Like I was at least able to like make some money and then like, have like a little bit of a savings and stuff. But because of pandemic and because of this, like that business reset, I'm able to make more now. Yeah. Because of, now that there's an influx of people that want training, which is awesome. Yeah. And was it like that for you? Like at least for you, you had some clients coming in from your house calls, but once you established like a home base, did you get a crazy influx of
here's the thing, right? When I was working, we weren't affected by the pandemic because I'm a medical provider. So we were never shut down, right? The training side, definitely. I think that was really effective. But like, in terms of like providing medical services, nothing really changed. Right.
So these house calls, they're all more on the PT side.
They're all completely PT.
Okay.
Related, yeah.
So you really didn't start doing like the training hybrid until you moved here.
I didn't even start doing training until this year.
Oh,
January.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. I was pure PT before, and then I was like, you know what, I could tack on another service. Yeah. And that's when I started training people.
What's your personal opinion? Like, do you enjoy like that you're doing hybrid, or would you rather go one or the other?
I enjoy doing the hybrid for one reason. And especially, I don't want to bore the listener too much, but in PT, like we collaborate a lot with people's trainers, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes they're not like the brightest bulb in the bunch, right?
Yeah.
So like they would hurt someone, they would come to me, we get it all fixed up, I send them back, and it happens again, right?
Yeah.
So the reason I do training isn't because I want more market share.
It's to prevent.
I just want to prevent that from happening.
Exactly.
Right. So I don't want people to go through their crappy trainers and get hurt over and over again. Some people like that relationship because it's a constant business.
I have some clients that are like that. I don't mind because they go to their PTs for very, very minimal stuff. Yeah. And at least for me, I do a good job. That's what their PT says. Yeah. Like, because I point out stuff. I'm like, cool. Like, I feel good. Yeah,
there's definitely a lot of trainers out there that, that are doing their job. But, like, I'm talking about, like, the ones that usually give you a lot of business. They are a little bit lacking in that regard. And, all they care about is the referrals back and forth. Okay. That's why chiropractic is such a huge thing with a lot of trainers, right?
It is right now. Yeah. Because
that's why I did it, not because I wanted more market share.
Okay. So prior to going in, like, wait, real quick. So when you were doing these house calls, were you automatically independent from then?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's like a 1099, just like you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess prior to that, and even prior to setting up a home base here, what were your business preparations in terms of setting up your business? Did you do any? Because I didn't do any. You're more business savvy than I am. I'm very go with the flow, man. Like, I didn't start really being conscious of my finances literally until this year, because I have a goal. So that's why.
Yeah. So I quit my job without a backup. Yeah. Because I just went in one day and I was just like, forget this, right? So now I put in my 2 weeks and then I left.
Did they actually give you 2 weeks? They didn't give me
2 weeks. They wanted me for way longer than that.
Right.
And they were like, we'll extend to the end of the month. And then they're like, oh, can you come back in like maybe one day a week? I know you're trying to do your own thing. And I'm like,
you're doing that much of a good job?
Yeah. And I was like, no.
How bad were these other PTs, I guess?
Oh, they're horrible.
Really?
They are terrible.
Let me ask this. Like, what sets you apart then? Like, I guess work ethic is one. Is it because
I think it's
rudimentary with their like
I don't think it's the knowledge. Obviously the knowledge is severely lacking in my coworkers. I think it's just the giving a shit about people. Right? Because like if you care about your clients, right, people could sense that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They know that you're invested in their journey versus you're just counting down the hour. Right? I think that's what's lacking for a lot of them. And when you aren't invested in someone's progress, you're less innovative, right? With your approaches.
Okay. So, if you quit your clinical job like without a backup plan, what did you do different when you set up your home base?
Oh, there was a lot of research that went into it.
Exactly.
Just setting up like the structure, right? So I was a 1099. Yeah. Being a 1099 is not great for taxes. Right, you have to.
Is it not?
You have to pay quite a bit more.
Because I do that.
Yeah, it's not great for taxes. So like having just having like an LLC to protect you from your getting sued and stuff like that. Right. For me, I can't be an LLC because I'm a medical provider, so I have to have an actual corporation with stocks. Even though I'm not a publicly traded company.
Right? I was like, did you go public already?
I wish I did and did an exit. No. So like there was that, and then setting up business bank accounts, all that stuff, having deadlines, paying your quarterly taxes. Like there's like
so you do quarterly, instead of yearly.
Well, no, I do yearly. I get penalized. I'm too lazy to do quarterly.
Yeah, okay.
I just take the L on like a couple $100s.
Okay. Since you can't set up an LLC, do you think I should set up an LLC? Because I'm 1099. Like, let me tell y'all, I'm very go with the flow. Like, I have a structure, but it's not as much of a professional structure as yours, because again, you're a medical provider. I'm just an independent trainer, right? Like there's obviously like I have my own jurisdiction, but I don't, there's some people in here that
blurring the lines.
Yeah, exactly. So, at least for you with your business advice, do you think I should set up a LLC?
I think once you pass a certain income threshold or revenue, not income, right? You should definitely set it up. So the way that the LLC works, again, none of this is financial advice, right? I'm just telling people what I'm doing.
Yeah.
After I think my accountant told me at about $70,000, that's when you start to break even. Because if you sell LLC, you got to pay like a bunch of California bull crap, right? Like there's like a franchise board tax you pay yearly, maintenance of like everything, right?
Yeah.
So I was like at about 70,000, that's when you break even.
Oh,
so anything below that, it costs more to maintain that corporation.
Yeah.
And then at 70, that's when all your tax benefits and stuff break even. Anything more than that is a plus.
I'm definitely gonna seek more professional help because I have no idea. I kind of get it. No, I kind of get it.
It's pretty much 70K plus. You're probably good to set up one. And if you make 70K revenue, that tells you have a good business model.
Okay.
If you make like 20K, like maybe you should work on your business first before
work on growing the business.
Yeah.
Damn, 20K. Ooh, that's
rough. Some people live off that.
That's rough, buddy. Okay, that's good to know. Again, we're not giving these actual professional advice, like
Go talk to your lawyer, accountant, all that good stuff.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you guys what I did.
Because for me, I got like your little 2 cents. I understand, but now I want it more elaborated. And I should see more professional help for that.
So why did you start your own business? I know you didn't want to work for 24 anymore. Is there like a is there like a cheesier, deeper why?
No. What is the salesman tactic? What's the
why? Your why?
That's one. That's one. Like, just bottom line, I'm a shitty salesman, and that's where I lack in my own business. I think for me, it's more of I just show you my work ethic, and then I'll let the client understand, like, oh yeah, this guy's cool. Yeah. But overall, my personality is very chill. Like, I just don't want to do that code switch to a entrepreneur talk. I'm just trying to prevent that as best as possible. So that's the one thing I didn't like about 24. It's like 24, they try to guide you towards being just one thing. So like the whole finding the why is one. So if you don't know what I'm talking about,
they're teaching how to be a salesperson.
Yeah. So like if you talk to a potential NBU, a new business unit, a potential client, you just after the workout you talk to them. It's like, I know you want to lose weight, I know you want to gain muscle, but tell me, why do you want to get to like less than 30 pounds, right? It's like, what's the why? It's like, is it because, and it's like some weird reasons that you have to think about, like when you build that rapport on the initial consult. It's like, oh, is it because don't you want to play with your grandkids when they're like,
bro,
yeah,
I remember that training.
Oh man,
it's like, man, don't you want to fit into that dress you used to wear?
Oh, exactly. Like, oh my god, dude, like that's the one thing I didn't like. And then I think a lot of people were just telling me like, oh, it's just way better if you're independent, which again, like there are pros and cons, but that's really.
Do you mind that it will eventually hinder your business? Like if you don't go into sales and be sales mode entrepreneur, like you have an income pack for sure at some point, because you won't want to do the businessy side of things, right? Like hiring staff, expanding and stuff like that.
Oh, I mean, for me, just being a sole proprietor, like there is going to be a cap, but I don't see myself hiring staff or anything. I mean, it's different for you, because that's kind of like your next step. Because you can like build this whole like wellness center and like hire other PTs, other PTAs and stuff. I'm just a trainer. Like I think my next step would just be just open a gym, and I do not want to open a gym at all, because if you don't know about Los Angeles, you have to pay like city tax and state tax. So an LA county tax.
And, and then they try to kill you with permit fees and
exactly. There's all these logistics that I do not want to deal with at all. No. So personally for me, I don't see myself opening a gym. What about you? Are you looking to opening a facility?
Eventually. I'm actually looking at commercial real estate right now, just because I want to get the hell out of here. But that's one of the steps. I know a lot of people want to go online, but that's a whole different.
I think online is fine. I had a decent push with online coaching before pandemic. So I had about like 30 clients, and they were all around the US, and I had 3 in Canada. Shout out to Bradley Martin for my social media push. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I was in a Bradley Martin video years ago, and it was just me. Like, he's just interviewing me, just asking me about like what strength program you should go on. Yeah, just because I'm a small, short king lifting 500 pounds. It's fine. So I was just talking about that, and a lot of people gravitated towards that, found my Instagram, and then followed me. But I didn't really try to thrive too much on online coaching. I kept my monthly retainer like pretty low, because for me, I just enjoyed one-on-one training way better. I think it's more personalized, and then the thing is, like, I'm really big on form. Yeah, I can't do that. Like, online. All my clients send me videos just through text or through message, and I can form check, but I want it to be more immediate. Like, if something goes wrong, I want to be there.
Done and there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you can grow. I mean, I think the only way you can grow an online clientele is if you have clout.
Yeah. You have a lot of followers.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had a friend who paid for this one influencer. She was $300 a month for 3 months, and it was basically bullshit.
I hired. I remember I told you, right? I hired Omar Isuf.
You did, yeah.
For his like power building program. It was complete ass. It was cookie cutter as crap. He couldn't answer
base level.
He took like 2 weeks to answer any questions.
Oh.
And then when he got like hella mad, be like, "Oh, he was working on some apparel brand at the time."
Yeah, but if you have this other business, you have to
but like and too. Then like he took a year. It was like a year contract to sign up with him, and then halfway through he was just like, "Oh, by the way, I'm ending everyone's stuff because I want to focus on my clothing brand." It's like very unprofessional.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if you ever saw his stuff back in the day. He was like very very like personable. His online persona seemed like he was
all
like
I remember from his YouTube videos is like, "Hey, what's up, guys? This is Omar Isuf," and like,
yeah. So like versus someone like like from the Shreds crew, right? Where you're like, oh, these guys are like more like fake, right? So this guy's very personable, right? But it wasn't the case.
Oh,
but
got you.
What do you feel about online training now with all this AI tools available? Because there's a lot of apps nowadays that will give you pretty much the perfect progressive overload. They kind of split, all done in real time. So like, in my opinion, just seeing the capability of AI now, like very primitive in this age.
Yeah,
I don't think online training, like the expertise one, accountability for sure, right? If you want to talk to someone, but the expertise of like programming and stuff, I think that's going to be like completely replaced by AI.
So?
Yeah, in like the next year.
You think it's that good?
Yeah, because like think about it, the way we program is all through principles we learn in books and stuff,
exactly.
Right? AI already knows all that stuff.
Yeah, they draw from all
exactly. Yeah. So that's the only thing holding me back from like, oh, I'm going to invest fully in online, because like the personal touch you can never replace with AI.
Exactly.
Right? So you're always going to have a business.
But in terms of programming, you might just do all that, because you do that now, right?
I don't do that now, but we do a lot of the copywriting with AI. And it's crazy.
Yeah. Because like this fool loves ChatGPT.
Bro, I
pay for love, dude.
I love that thing. I talked to him. I heard.
the you up message at 2 a.m. man. Just wake up.
So no deeper why. Just you don't want to.
No, I don't think so. And then with online coaching, at this point right now, I really only online coach friends. Yeah, so I don't promote it at all. What I focus right now is just building my in-person training, because I think that's what for me generates the most money.
So let me ask you this: what's your next step then? Let's say you're fully capped out.
I get this question a lot. So along with personal training, I also do freelance filmmaking, and then I think a lot of people think that I'm at a crossroads where, because I'm 30, like I need to choose. Like, go training all the way or do film work all the way. I don't really know. I'm at the point right now where I'm able to balance both. Obviously right now I do way more personal training than I do film work. So I always call personal training my bills money, and then my film work my fun money.
But eventually, which one do you want to like pursue more?
I don't know at this point. Yeah.
Is there one that's more fun to you, more fulfilling?
No, like both like are just fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm very like how I am is like, because I'm able to sustain myself and like, live off of, I guess you could say, both incomes. I'm perfectly fine with both. I can still grow as a personal trainer because I'm not quote unquote full time necessarily. I technically am, but because I have all this free time to still do film work and just to do other stuff like work on this podcast, like, you know, I can definitely add a few more clients. So I'm not capped yet. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very, you know, I'm gonna follow my heart. You know, isn't that what MJ told you at 10 years old?
Bro.
I'm gonna follow my heart, and this is where my heart is at.
All right.
I'm steady chilling, you know. So let's get into some like business tips for both of our businesses. I think the most important thing as an independent business, especially if you're a trainer and physical therapist or anyone in these fields, is marketing. Marketing is super important. What have you done in terms of marketing for your business?
We just started to run the ads, and it's not super successful because our website.
Okay, issue, I'm gonna pause you there. We're gonna get into it.
We'll get it later.
So ads is one thing. So the most important thing with marketing as well as in your business is to reinvest back into your business. So for these ads, you will be spending some, and if you go through Meta, you have a daily spending limit. So you don't need to spend X amount. You don't need to go through your whole savings just on these ads. But I will say this, I think you should invest in a social media marketing agent because just running ads alone will only get you so far. There's like these levels to these ads that like Kelvin and I don't really understand. Like, you know, there's lookalike ads, like building off of analytics, building off of old client info. So that's a big thing too.
Ads are important, but I think local marketing, it's even more important for like
what do you mean by
service-based business like us. Because I never we just tried to run ads this month, right? Okay. So I was able to build my whole business through complete just organic relationship.
So referrals,
not just referrals, just like well, yes, a referral source is good to feed you clients, right? But like just having a good product and service where your clients give you word of mouth referral. That's more organic, right?
Right.
So for like every like one person I do a really good job with, right? They tell their whole family about me. Now I have 1 to 7 and it's like exponentially growing.
Exactly.
Right? Versus ads, really helpful, but if you have a shit product, right? Someone's going to come in and they're going to be like, "Oh, these guys are all right." And then it dies there. And then the more people that tried your stuff and didn't like it, right? The more you're going to spend on ads to get more. Because like the cost per like new client just goes up skyrockets over time, right?
So I guess aside from doing a great job to existing clients for them to spread the word and like, you know, I guess build that a wider referral base, what are other things someone can do to build their brand, to display that, hey, this is a product, like I'm my own product and this is my value? What can someone do?
You have to partner up with businesses that are like adjacent to you, right? So
this is interesting because I've always thought about this. What was your approach in terms of connecting with adjacent businesses?
Instagram.
Oh, really?
IG. Cold emails were okay, but wasn't really super successful. I got a couple of owner of this facility. Right?
Okay.
That's how I reached out to him from the get-go.
Okay.
Yeah, but like Instagram's super helpful because but you can't just slide into the DMs though. You gotta like some of their posts. You gotta be like chatting a little bit, and it's not super successful because like the ones I've slid into, right? It took like 6 months for that relationship.
That's what I was gonna say. Did you do like the whole follow, and then you just like, and then like just
comment sometimes with some fire emojis, right? And then like send a meme.
Yeah.
Or like what I do is like I ask him like, hey, like I want to like chat with you about something, or like, oh, you're doing good. Like I want to see like, you know, what you guys are doing, like come in and whatever, right? And they would say seen and they would ignore me, right? And then, you know, you don't want to double message and be hella desperate. So I will send like a meme to them.
Yeah.
And then one time it worked.
Okay.
Right. But like most people, like you just have to take L's, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to reach out to a ton of people and they're going to say no to you.
Of course.
Or they're just going to ignore you.
Yeah. Going back into DMs. So I think cold DMs are another great way into expanding your business. So I did that before pandemic. So I went to like the the city that I do train clients and the adjacent cities, I would go and then I would kind of filter through the recent posts, and I kind of would just judge myself like, oh, this seems like someone who would train clients, and I would just send this base message like offering, because my consultations are free, and then say if they're interested, and obviously I would send hundreds within the span of like a week and then only get responses like here and there. But I have gotten clients do that. Have you ever done any cold DMs like that and gotten clients?
Yeah. I mean, it's free to cold DM, man. It takes like no effort.
Exactly.
You just copy and paste. So.
Yeah, just do 30 minutes to an hour of your time. Just
what do you look for? They're like, are you looking for like, oh, how?
They gotta look rich.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay, like baseline, they also have to be a healthcare worker. Yeah, if they're a nurse, obviously they can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're like looking through the school. Like, where's the G-Wagon? Oh, that's the one.
Exactly. It's like oh, they travel. Like, oh, okay. This is like oh, they.
Does that look like first class or coach?
Exactly.
Okay.
They didn't just travel just to do like hikes. They actually traveled to resorts and stuff. All right. That's the money right there.
Okay, cool. All right.
But yeah, have you ever done cold DMs like that and it's been successful?
Yeah. Well, I don't creep through the recent posts, but people that like our stuff that aren't followers already, like that means they show some kind of, that's like a warm lead, right?
Okay. Yeah.
You're like, they show some kind of interest, and I go,
God. Okay. So yeah, how do you like respond? Do you just like, hey, appreciate like, checking us out or something, or do you go like me, just automated message like, hey, just letting you know I'm offering this?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
You go, hey, how's it going? You actually start a conversation.
Yeah, like because we try templates before, people just read them because they're like, there's like a bot or something, right?
Yeah. But if it's too long, so my message was really short.
Yeah.
Like 2 to 3.
Just start, hey, how's it going? That's how I got most of my clients. It's just because they're people,
Okay.
Like, hey.
Just treat them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like on average, how many people have you ever cold DM then or message?
I haven't done it in a while, but I was pretty good. I was like 10%, which is, I know it's like insanely high.
Yeah.
But it's my field's a little bit different, right? Because I'm literally treating pain, so people are in pain. Yeah. When they like a rehab thing, they're probably a little bit more invested.
Legitimate medical treatment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So training is a little bit tougher because I do that too. Like our code DM rates for training is like it's abysmal because people just like cool exercises, but they don't want to actually do it themselves.
Oh, that's true. Okay. And then the next thing, next tips for business is retention. So retaining your business units, retaining our clientele. So what do you have advice for that?
As far as I think you have to look at more of like the churn rate. So the churn is the amount of new clients, divided by the amount of people leaving your business, right?
Okay.
And then you have to look at the percentage, because you could have let's say you have 10 clients coming in a month, right? Which is great. If you have 15 leaving, you're screwed.
Okay.
Right?
I think this is different for you because you do a lot of things on the PT side. Whereas me, like whenever I train a client, they usually stay for at minimum. Sometimes they only stay for like when they pay for just one package, but a lot of times they're invested for at minimum a year.
But I think that's for all business. I'm not talking about like, because your churn rate is good because you have a really good retention rate because your product is good, right?
Yeah.
I'm just talking about in general for all businesses. There's going to be an in and out, right? So that rate, I think, it's more important than your actual retention.
Yeah. So your new business unit.
Yeah, because like you could be the opposite, right? You could be like you're like fantastic. You have 100% retention, but if no one's coming in, then you're also kind of screwed, right?
Right.
So you have to find a way to maximize and minimize.
Yeah, and you think this should be a constant flow no matter what? Because sometimes for me, if I'm at what I feel is my good cap, like all right, like I'm good with like these clientele, I won't try to continue advertising or asking them. You just
shut it down, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you think that should be ongoing?
I keep it ongoing because I like to hire people to do, because I want to expand on that end. But since you're a sole proprietor, I understand you just want to like cap it, right?
Yeah.
But as far as like retention tips, it's just like just do your job, do it well.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. That's like if you have a good product, like people are gonna stay.
Yeah. And then for us, like since we treat like, do you call everyone clients or do you call like the PT side patients?
No, clients.
There's all clients, right? Okay. So a great way to build your business, especially when you have existing clientele, is through referrals. I think referrals is one of the best ways to obtain new business units. So how often should you ask your client for a referral? Like, obviously, it's not like every session. Like, hey, let your people know. So
you know what?
I casually just like drop it here and there.
I never do. They just do it.
Wow.
Yeah, they just do it.
Look at this good PT over here.
I know, they just do it. But like I'm really bad at asking for reviews.
Oh.
I'm terrible at it.
I don't care. I'll ask.
Yeah? Like, I just started doing that, and then we got a ton. But I haven't been doing that. But I think for the PT side, after the treatment is over, and they don't want to continue to stay on as like our training client,
right?
That's when I ask for the review and referral. But most of the time, even midway through, they already like send me
already doing that. Nice. Yeah, I've asked for reviews before. On my Yelp, I only have like 5, but they're all like paragraph long, like thorough. They actually gave their 2 cents and thoughts about me as a trainer.
Nice.
So I actually like that. Like, and surprisingly, yeah, people have found me on Yelp because my SEO isn't like that crazy. SEO is search engine optimization. Is if like we're in the city doing our job, and then you just look up personal trainer. I'm not one of the first that pops
Bro, I'm
up.
like, I'm on page like 11 or something.
For you?
Yeah.
I'm page 3.
Really?
For personal trainer.
Oh, if you're the type of physical therapist, I'm like page 11. Because some lady came in today and told me that, like a new client. She was like, you're not the first or the second. You're on like page 11.
Did you ask her what made her choose you?
No, I should.
You should have.
I should.
Yeah, because I always ask, like, whenever someone comes from like through an ad or referral or something, I always ask, like, what led them to me, so you
could like repeat that.
Exactly. Yeah. See? There you go.
Learning.
Exactly. Me too. I'm learning. Yeah, and then when you're independent, I think the most important thing is accountability.
100%.
Yeah, exactly. Because if we stop working, we're broke. There's no money.
Yeah. You don't get PTO. There's none of that crap. Yeah. You don't get sick days.
I mean, you control your own sick days.
Yeah, but I don't know, but I get this guilt about taking time off work. I know you don't. You like to travel.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my whole thing. Like, I love to travel. My mindset is I'm also on the road to riches. I don't mind pit stops.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't mind stopping to do stuff that's like that I'm passionate about. That's my whole thing. Yeah, so I'm okay with looking at in the mirror and telling my boss, like, hey, you deserve this. So but that's your issue. Like, you don't want to give yourself that type of quote unquote PTO.
No, because like if you hire people, they depend on you too.
Yeah.
Right. So like if you have a small company and then everyone's always gone, revenue dips, and then people got to feed their families, right? So I feel personally responsible for those kind of situations. So I don't take time off, unfortunately. But
do you do any type of mental resets then, in terms of like to keep you motivated to growing your business, or is it just I don't want to be broke?
I don't want to be broke.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's just I just hate losing.
Yeah, because for me, like, I think my smaller travels, whenever I come back,
you refresh.
Like, it's more refreshed. Yeah, I'm not like I'm losing motivation and like my mental health is like going down the drain. It's more of whenever I'm more anxious to like keep my work going.
I'm usually dead when I come back from my travels.
But yeah, because you rave, bro. This fool is on the uns bonanzas, man. When's your next one?
Next one is next month, Nocturnal.
Exactly. So there's his PTO.
But it's the weekend. I don't work weekends.
He's gonna look in the mirror at his own boss and be like, "You don't deserve this."
Go work.
go make the money.
But yeah, I think it goes along with consistency too, right? You gotta show up, not just be here, right? Actually do a good job.
Yeah.
And just deliver that experience.
Yeah, so exactly.
People could keep paying you.
Be absolutely present. Yeah. Like, I have this like quote that I have a little whiteboard on my room, It's cute, man. It's cute. All right.
You journal too?
I used to. Yeah. Like, especially if things become a little too overwhelming, I'll just like journal a little bit. I haven't in a while, so that means my mental health's pretty good.
You don't just like go bust a nut or something?
Not really. And I'm gonna say that it's purely out of laziness. But anyways, I have this saying in my little whiteboard. It's that excel in all aspects. So like wherever you're present in, just try to excel. Just try to like do your very best, like wherever you're doing. So for example, like we're doing this podcast. I'm trying my best to make sure this podcast is flowing well and getting everything edited done. And when I'm training clients, like I'm in client mode. Like I'm like when you're dealing with multiple clients, like obviously everyone is different. Everyone has a different body type. Everyone has different strengths. So whenever you're in that session, you focus on that client, and then when the next comes, you're just like that.
Yeah. No, I agree, because if you're gonna spend the time doing something, you might as well do it right.
Exactly.
Right? Don't just like half-ass it, because now you're wasting time.
That's
coming
no
up
bueno.
with, that's crap. I that's probably one of my pet peeves.
All right.
So as far as other than tips, right? We kind of, those weren't really tips. They're more like qualities of,
I guess so,
being like a successful business owner.
Okay, let's give one tip then. Let's see. Build your socials, I guess. I don't know. I think social media helps. I've gotten clients off Instagram.
I think just being organized, like especially for us, like having schedules, like don't oversleep and miss people's stuff, like stuff like that.
Yeah. What happened 2 days ago? Oh no, that was yesterday. Hey, it's okay. Yeah. Hey, I've done the same. Yeah. It's okay. You just have to apologize and try to do better.
But what do you think? And let's go inverse of that, right? So, what are name one or two things you think that people have that will just kill them if they try to start their own business, like bad qualities?
Oh, bad product. Yeah, I think if you just have a bad product, if you're this is what the whole thing with being a quote unquote great salesman, you can talk the talk, but if you can't walk the walk, then there's just there's no longevity in your business. Right? You
just get new suckers in, and then they're like,
because we see any type of gym, we see it all the time. You can have the guy who's he's jacked as shit, and he's selling them I can get you on this diet, and then there's no format to this type of training. He just puts everyone in the same schematic. I don't think
he sees something on Instagram week 1, and then suddenly all their clients are doing Bulgarian jumps. Crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy stomps to the floor, not even thinking about impact control. Come on, bro. Come on, fam.
Okay, so the bad product, but what do you feel about people that have no drive? They're just existing.
Unmotivated?
They're not really unmotivated. They're very type B. They're very passive, right? Where they're just if it happens, it happens.
Oh, I'm kind of passive.
Yeah, but
I get it. No, I get it.
They're waiting for things to happen.
Exactly. Oh, that's the absolute no. You cannot, if you're independent and you are in control of your own income and the development of your business, you can't wait for things to happen.
Because it doesn't.
Yeah.
No one's coming to save you.
Exactly. It's up to you to try to generate your business units, and no matter what, and then obviously there's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations, but you have to keep going. Yeah, because in the long run, for me, I started independent at 2016, so it's been 7 years in, and then for you, it's been what, 2-3 years?
Yeah,
and then you have to just run the gun, just hop on it, and just adapt.
Because we have a mountain of work that needs to be done, and it's never ending. It's not like a job where you just clock out, right?
Exactly.
So the sooner you get your stuff done, the more and the faster you get paid, right?
Exactly.
But if you just keep delaying stuff, you're just hurting yourself.
Exactly.
In the long term. So if no initiative, I think that's just a lot of new trainers out there, they hope for this miraculous January 1st where people are gonna magically appear at your doorstep, right?
Oh yeah, that seasonal stuff.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't happen. You have to actually work at getting people. Things aren't gonna just fall in your lap.
Whereas if you have a good product, all those stuff doesn't really affect you, but it does kind of I like it sometimes.
But even for a product, right? If you don't have the drive to keep refining it, right? Things are evolving, right? Now people want apps, right? Because we use a fitness app, right?
Yeah.
So people want apps instead of Excel, stuff like that.
Yeah. So when you said refining, I'm glad that you said this because I do want to go over this for a little bit. Is doing continued education while you're doing your business. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I spent 20-30 grand a year on content.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's super important, I think.
I don't spend 20-30 grand, but I do believe in continued education. There's books. When you're a personal trainer, all you have to do is just get your CPT certification. But I think you get other certifications from there. Don't get hella certifications and then claim to be a doctor. All right,
26 of them.
Is it 20? I thought it was 24. Whatever. Anyways, for example, I think what I valued when I became independent is I was able to cultivate my niche as a trainer, which is mobility and functional strength. Yeah. So that's what led me to becoming ART, active release technique certified. So all these continued education stuff is very valuable.
I think like all of that increases your earning potential too. So like if it's you know, and it's a skill, right? So if it's a skill you learned, you're never gonna lose it.
Exactly.
Versus you're like putting in like Meta like 2 years ago, you probably lost like 75% of your money at that point, right?
Yeah.
So investing in yourself and not investing in like other get rich quick Dogecoin kind of scheme like that. So like Con Ed, I think Con Ed is probably one of the most important in our field at least.
Yeah. See, that's a tip, man. Like, all right, hating that we gave like qualities. That's a tip.
So okay, so like, you know, lack of drive. You're talking about like just delivering mediocre service, like not trying.
Exactly.
It kind of goes hand in hand.
It does, yeah.
And I think the last one that really kills people is their ego, like not being able to, like, because like, you know, taking things too personal, like especially in our field where you're gonna take a lot of L's for people that aren't interested, right? And you take it hella personal, like, oh, like, you know, why, like, oh, well, I didn't want them anyways, that kind of stuff. Or like they just can't admit that they're lacking.
Yeah.
And I see that a lot, and I think that's probably one of the worst qualities to have if you're gonna have your own business.
Or the fact that, you know, you just have to accept that sometimes, like, you know, we're not cheap.
Yeah.
Like technically, like in
you're
our
not
field,
for everyone.
we're luxury.
Yeah.
So
we're premium. Luxury is
okay, fine. We're premium. I'm gonna say luxury. All right.
Luxury is like
let me be special. All right. So so again, we're not cheap. So like you have to understand sometimes it's okay. Like, you know, like some clients don't want to continue paying for you. Yeah. You know, like, so like, you know, obviously like there are clients who are just making hella money that they could just keep that retention going. But sometimes, they
just don't see your service as valuable, and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to be for everyone. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but you're saying that like there are people who just get hurt just because they lost a client, and they just
not just that, they just have they can't like reflect and be like, oh, I messed up, right? The client is gone because they're a crappy person. The client is gone not because I wasn't fully in it or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or like, you know, like collaborating with other businesses.
That's the same as playing victim, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rather, it's like just looking at your boss, which is looking at yourself in the mirror.
At 2 a.m.
It's them, not you.
Why did you spend 3 hours finding that video? What's wrong with you?
Why are you on page 117?
On the third website.
only to go back to Old Faithful. Anyways, okay, the last thing is let's talk about something that we wish we would have known prior to starting an independent business. So what's that for you?
That you're gonna be working way more for initially a lot less money.
Yeah.
Right. Because like, you know, going from a stable job to starting your own thing, like it's a massive pay cut, and it's, you know, you're gonna be working like, you think like people want to quit their job. It's the funniest thing. Like some of my friends are like, oh, I'm so sick of working 40 hours a week. I'm gonna start my own thing. I was like, you want to trade a 40 for 80?
Yeah.
Is that really what you want to do? But they're like, they just see the bright side. Like, oh, you make your own schedule. Like you keep all your money. And I was like, bro, there's a lot
behind it. Yeah. Like just because we're training clients in here doesn't mean that we're doing our own like accounting organization.
Yeah, X, like Y, you don't just train and like fuck off. Like there's like you work 24/7 pretty much. You're always on something.
So you just wish that you would known that
there's a huge time commitment, and I wish people that want to start their business or other ventures know that like it's not just about, oh, I got to show up from like, you know, 8 to 5 and that's it, right? There's like a lot more that go into it.
Yeah. I think another one is like expectations. You know, don't expect like your business to thrive from the jump. Yeah. Unless you have clout. I guess like that's the only way. But if you don't have clout like us and you're just a regular smegular, just expect that this is gonna be a very long and tough road. And I think preparing for like the bumps in your business is a big thing too, because a lot of times this was me back then. It's like when you're full time, you think you're like, oh yeah, I'm chilling, like I'm good. But then
the seasons change.
Exactly. You need to prepare that, you know, some clients will like eventually like stop, and then you have to constantly have that flow, that churn rate, right? So I definitely agree on that. And if you're coming from a commercial gym, I would say this, like at least have 5 to 7 clients that are willing to go with you to your independent business to start off. Because I just had 2. I thought, I was like, oh, I think it'd be cool. But I forgot that, you know, bills exist. So That's it. What about for you? Anything else that you would have known before, like, starting this?
I think you touched on something really important, like the fluctuations in business, because that was probably one of the biggest lessons I learned this year. There's three of them. Number one was I expanded way too quickly on anticipated needs. So last year in July, I was completely booked to the brim, right? I
remember
that. I was working like 10, 11 hours a week,
right?
A day. And at that was pretty damn good money, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to hire now because I'm going to have more people coming in, right?
Right.
Didn't happen. So I had this, no one came, well, very few people. So my churn rate was starting to creep up, right? Because people were leaving, and I would, as a therapist, your job is to get them out anyways.
Yeah.
So my churn, I was getting more people leaving, and then I hired someone, and I couldn't fill his schedule anymore.
Why is that?
Because there was no one coming in. Because at that point, like I had from like January to March, I had an exponential growth.
Right. Like
I went from making like $4,000 a month in January, and then by the end of March, I was making like $17,000 a month. Right?
Nice. Okay.
So I was like, oh man, I need to expand now, right? So I hired someone, and I couldn't fill his schedule.
Oh.
There's no new clients coming in, and then I was just like scratching my head, like, what's going on, right? And then just like always like plan for the worst, right? Don't expect your best month to be the average.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it won't be, right? Just because you had like, so my rule of thumb now is if I could maintain a consistent result for like 6 months, then I could consider, maybe this is going to stick, right? But like 1 or 2 good months, like do not plan on making any changes to your business.
Don't be on your high horse.
Because you get that business high, like you get that little bit of success, and then it might just destroy you afterwards.
No, I totally agree with that. Nice, cool. That's it for me. Do you have any like lasting? I don't like. For me, actually, having startup capital before going independent would have been nice. I was 23 when I became independent. So when you're in your early 20s, you're broke.
Do you think that helped? Just the desperation. I know it helped me because when I had like 2 weeks left of bills money before I was gonna get like couldn't pay my bills. Yeah. So that put a fire under my ass to get things going.
Just like I guess so. But
not the smartest thing though, right? Don't burn the ships.
It was dude, man. Dude, like whenever I think about my finances in the early 20s and like, how low my FICO score was, I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah. Like, hey, you overcame it, baby. Let's go. What to do, baby?
Rags to cleaner rags.
Exactly. To microfiber rags.
Hey, there you go.
I hope so. No, I think, at least for you, what I respect is that you like laid out like a very professional like business plan before I guess setting up base here. Whereas for me, I was just like, here I am. That's it. But I think, if you have any sort of capital, one, you at least have a savings to take care of yourself, take care of the bills. And at least you have some startup capital to invest into your business too. Yeah.
Because everything costs money.
Yeah. Because again, if you have this product, especially for us being like, we are the product, like I can move to a different city. I can move to North Dakota and no one's going to know about me just because I haven't like reached out and networked.
Yeah.
But because I'm the only Asian guy there, everyone's going to know about me. What about you? Any lasting things that you wish you would have known before starting any type of business?
There was one that I didn't follow, and I don't think it's universal. So like one of the things that my cousin told me, because he kind of went through a lot of this, he says like never, which is funny because we're doing a podcast, never do business with friends or family.
Oh.
Because there's 2 things that's going to happen. I mean 3, right? Either you guys blow up, make it, right? Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Or the business is going to take over and you're going to ruin your relationship because you're very professional at that point, right? You lose the personal side of your relationship.
Yeah.
Or the last one, like the business is not successful and then you ruin it anyways, right? So the business could be great, but you could still lose your friend or family just because, strictly business at that point.
I think that's where like the ego comes in. Like if you have, like we don't really have like that type of ego anyways. Also, we're not getting paid for this, but if you subscribe, exactly. But at the same time, like when you said the whole the business takes over, I think that's when like people become like too entrepreneur, and they're not able to like communicate.
But can you blame people? Like, because then at the end of the day, everyone's out for their own self-interest at some point, right?
Right.
Like, especially in the business, it's money, right?
Right.
So money always complicates things, especially with friends and family. You know how like the policy is like, don't loan your friends and family money unless you're willing to lose it. Don't expect it back, right? That's like the old saying, right? That's so it's like true. The same with business. And it's a lot easier to cut off a random guy for a business partner than your family.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it just becomes very hairy at that point.
Or you could just be a complete sole proprietor like me and just not have any business with anyone.
That, yeah.
Because I have no business.
But that's not universal. Like sometimes it works out. I'm sure a lot of business or husband and wife ones are killing it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like the last wedding I was at, the photographer was, I think, husband and wife. Yeah. Wait, was it the last, or maybe the last? I have a lot of weddings this year, but yeah, it was just like a husband and wife, like photography, videography business, and
they're killing it, right? Yeah. So it's not universal, but like it's I guess it's a big risk, right? When you start business with a friend or family, you like just expect to lose them if things go well.
Okay, what about nepotism?
Oh, dude, oh my god, dude. That kind of goes along with it. That's the inverse of what I just said, right?
Right.
So only hiring, like, my advice for people is if you're gonna be paying market rate, go to the market.
Okay.
Don't ask for, hey, you know, a homie that could do like film. Hey, you know, a homie that could do like websites.
Let's say this, like, isn't it a big risk to like go off just a referral like that too?
It is, right? Yeah. So like always look for portfolios, always look for past testimonials. Like you never want to just take someone's word for like their achievements, right? Because people embellish their resumes a lot, right? And you don't really know the truth. So like seeing past clients and products are probably the most
Filipino
important.
Club.
Right. So like, you know, a lot nepotism really kills business too. Because then at my old work, the CEO hired a bunch of his family to do like bullshit roles, like social media consulting and stuff like that. And this girl just made like 5 posts a month, right? And she got paid like $80,000 a year.
What?
Yeah. But like it was all his family members, right? So then obviously the actual workers like us got really disgruntled because we're like, what the like I want that exactly. I want that job, right?
Yeah.
So I think like just favoring people that don't have the talent or work ethic just because you're related or you're friends or whatever. It's probably like the worst thing.
Okay.
And most of the time you get a really shitty product or a worker, right? Yeah. Which delays everything. You know, that's a bunch of excuses. Just, you know, making your life hell, and then you gotta cut that time.
Stressing you out.
Losing hair. Exactly.
So I gotta go turkey sooner.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you took a risk with me because again, I do film work, and you hired me for your creatives.
You do good stuff though. I saw your portfolio.
I showed you one photo.
But I saw your IG. Like you're not just
I don't count that.
No, your IG doesn't count.
I don't count my IG. My IG is just me having fun.
Didn't you shoot that wedding thing? You showed me that.
A wedding thing.
And then I also know that like clout brands have you shoot, so probably.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Versus like just some random guy who has a camera, you know.
Yeah. Or just an iPhone. iPhone clips are fine too, especially for ads. I think iPhone clips because
they perform better, right? Because they're more personal.
Yeah. So all of my ads are iPhone clips.
Oh.
I just like make montages and just list my services. That's it. Okay. Cool. All right, man. So that's episode 8. That's on self-employment. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, this is a growing platform. Please subscribe. Like this video. It doesn't take that long. Please.
If this was helpful, to share it to your friends and family. This was actually educational. Yeah, I learned a lot from this, so it's good. Again, follow us on all social medias at Short Kings Talk Everything. Links in the description below. My bad. And you can follow us on our personal Instagrams. For me, it's Sid the Chad. That's my I guess aesthetic one, where I only just post like just outfit pictures in different places. And then if you want to follow my fitness one, that's Mascardo Fit. And then if you want to follow Kelvin, that's Dr. Sixpack. That's his social for everything. Yeah, everything's in the bio. Yeah. Do you have any lasting words? Yeah, if you're thinking about starting something on your own, just do it. Like, you have nothing better to lose, right? Just do it like Nike. Exactly. And then, unless you suck, then don't do it. Just stay at your job. Gang.